Welcome back to OpenLine. We are talking about the Lighthouse Christian Camp and so much more that we're going to tell you about that they are doing. But the big thing coming up is the Christmas party, and you guys need to get those tables stocked so these children can experience the joy of giving, which is, of course, what Christmas is all about. So you need gifts so they can walk around with their play money and buy some things.
Right.
Go back, give them to their parents, their siblings, their grandparents, foster parents, wherever they may be. So we're going to show you some lists of what you're looking for people to donate new items that they could donate to the camp, which is a 501c3, no government funding. They're doing it all on their own with God's help. So let's show some items of what might be needed. And Sarah, just tell us a little bit about what you guys could use. What do these kids love to give?
Well, you know, one of the big things that they love, especially boys, they just absolutely love sports, and so footballs and basketballs and even just this same things as shooting into the hoop that goes over the door. You know, those are types of things, you know, and some of the big things that I know that we've been talking about here lately are shoes and coats. Those are some important things. All the time we see at camp, kids' shoes are falling apart, and those are sometimes the things that they buy for themselves. And it's nothing like having a brand new pair of shoes or a nice winter coat that they just can't afford. So those are some of the biggest items that I can think of that they can use, as well as, you know, just things that they love to give their. I know the girls love to get their jewelry for their moms and things like that. So it's really precious to watch that. So those are a couple of the key items.
And you see the list for girls there. We just showed the boys. So think of the jewelry, the craft sets, the cosmetics. If you have a little girl, you know what she loves. And then also think of what a little girl would love. No, not a little girl, but, you know, a 9, 10-year-old would love to give to mom and just be so proud of to give us a gift. And just, you know, that joy when you're so excited to give a present that you've picked out and that you thought is special to give to someone else. So think of those items. And then here are the items that parents are, you know, that might go over well for adults. So if you could buy some new ones of these when you're out and about, when is really the deadline to get them to you, and how can people get them to you?
The first girls' party is December the 5th this year, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And the boys' party is the next Saturday. And it's always that case. We have some people that shop all year.
Oh, I'm sure.
They go to yard sales and everything, and they're finding things that are nice items. And so just about anything you can think of. You know, large items, because the kids are being bussed and vanned in, you know, if it's a large item, like not bicycles, because they can't get the bicycle on the van. Because we are having to provide transportation for these children to get to camp and back home.
And we've put a list of how you can call, where you can donate. If you just feel led to do it. And they'll find a way to get it to camp, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Which would be absolutely wonderful. So we've talked about camp. Dwayne is on the phone. I want to talk to Dwayne. Dwayne, were you a camp counselor at one point?
Yes.
Well, thank you for calling in. Tell us about your experience with Lighthouse.
Well, I'm actually I do counseling now. Hi, Brother Ben and Miss Sarah.
Hey,
hello.
Dwayne, good to hear from you.
I've been doing it since I retired a number of years ago, and I go out 2 to 3 weeks in the summertime and spend with the mission boys and the discipleship boys. And as Brother Ben was saying, you get to know the kids, and they grow on you. And some of the stories that you hear are it's blessings to your life. I've had kids that have asked me to be their grandpa because they don't have a grandpa. You just can't imagine how warming it is to go out and see these young kids that need relationships with adults, and they don't have it, and they get a chance to be loved on and do all the activities that they talked about there on Brother Ben's talked about, and also been able to do weekend retreats and help actually take the boys out from some of the national areas, and it's always just so warming to see these kids come and recognize you and look forward to it and come back month after month, and they look forward to the summertime. and they all look forward to the Christmas.
I bet.
The Christmas party is it's a special event I think for everybody. The boys and the girls, though, they just light up, and they're so warm, and they so enjoy the whole time of learning about the story of Jesus, and singing songs and drinking hot chocolate and having a meal and getting gifts and getting them wrapped for their family, and it's just a wonderful experience.
Well, Dwayne, thank you for sharing. It's so good to hear your story. Really appreciate it.
Hey, we'll see you at the Christmas parties, Dwayne.
Okay, we'll see you.
All right, thanks.
Goodbye.
Sounds like a great time to meet old friends and come together and just share.
Dwayne mentioned there, we do gift wrap, one gift for each child. And so gift wrapping is a big thing. Ladies that come and volunteers to help. I'll tell you this one quick story. A little girl came through the line, and we have to have people that are managing the bags, be sure it gets back in the bag, gets on the bus. And this little girl came through, and of course we have their name tags on, and the workers, when she got through the shopping, well, what gift would you like to have gift wrapped? And she said, let's just say her name was Brenda, says, well, Brenda. And the worker says, well, sweetie, do you understand, who do you want us to gift wrap a gift for you to give to someone? She says, Brenda. And I said, well, is that you, Brenda? And says, yes, me. So she says, because I have never received a wrap gift in my life before. Oh, yeah. So, of course, we wrapped it for Brenda.
You're going to do me in tonight, Ben. I didn't bring my tissues with me. It is heartbreaking, though. It is absolutely heartbreaking, but what a joy it is that these children can experience that.
Amen. Yes, right. And it is a big day. It takes a lot of volunteers, about 200 volunteers to pull it off each Saturday. And one more thing quickly.
Okay.
Because Dwayne was on here, and Dwayne comes, and he's retired, and he's been so faithful. One of the greatest needs, I think the greatest need, is for us to have volunteers to come to spend a week at camp, to be a counselor in the cabin with children.
How do you what makes the perfect camp counselor?
To love kids, love God, and be vulnerable, to say, well, no matter what the kid says, I'm still going to love them, and that's the kind of man Dwayne is, and so many others that do come to volunteer. And we need maturity there. We have a summer staff, and they're young, primarily college age, but we still believe we need the maturity of volunteers there, of family, men and ladies who have raised children, that understands the needs in these kids' lives. And our college age do a great job because they're dedicated. And we're recruiting now for this coming summer. That's another thing. Sarah, you can talk about that. We're right now asking people to apply, to be on staff next year.
Sarah, how do people do that? I know our producer who produces the show is a camp counselor,
yes,
Miss Courtney. If someone says, you know what, I love God, love kids, want to do it, how do I sign up? What does it take?
Well, I mean, it's just as simple as calling our camp office. We're there every day, and we have an application that's already ready that we'll be willing to send out and to talk with them and share with them. We go to different schools and try and share our ministry with them as well. Everywhere we go, we talk about our ministry. So, but the easiest way, if we don't go to the schools and you feel led, is just simply call our camp office, which is 615-597-1264, and you won't regret it. There's no doubt about it.
Well, I can tell from the folks who have called in, and obviously you guys are just filled with the Spirit and love this place and just so very passionate about it. So, yeah, I don't think anybody's going to regret it. Yeah. Would you ever imagine starting off as an engineer in life or managing Dale Hollow Lake, right? With the Corps of Engineers, that you'd really be doing this for the majority of your life?
No way. No.
Any regrets?
Oh, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm so thankful because I was saved late in life, and 37 years old, as a matter of fact, right there on the farm. And God worked in my heart, and I love to say that Lighthouse Christian Camp is absolutely a miracle ministry born out of the heart of God for the poor and needy. Not something I came up with, because he spoke, and I just tried to do what he wanted.
And you listened,
Yes.
which is a big part. That's
Yes.
such a big part of it.
And he's faithful. You know, if he orders something up, he'll take care of it.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about the I'm going to get the name right, Sing for Joy Widows Homes, because you've expanded beyond summer camp.
Yes.
Because of what God calls,
Right.
it tells us to do in the Bible, take care of orphans and widows.
Yes, ma'am.
So, tell me about the Sing for Joy Homes.
Again, pray, and God spoke again, and you know, the way God presented it to me was that what is such a blessing to older people is children. And we already have all these children coming, and so for widows, who many of them are struggling to pay the bills and everything, and so we want to take that off of them, and we want to give them the opportunity to be there, that they can continue to be fulfilled and serve. And so,
tell me what we're seeing a picture of right now.
that is our widow's home. That's one of them. Right across the street, facing it, is another one, and there's 4 apartments, one on each side, and there's a common area in the middle. So each widow has her own private bedroom, kitchen, living area, and she can come out in the hallway in a common area, and they can get together and share meals together. Or you could come and visit with our widows, and we have those that come and visit with our widows. And so it's a really nice facility for the widows, and it's right on the property there. They're in resident right there, and so the purpose is for them to be able to be there and take the financial burden off of them, but also to give them the opportunity to continue to minister to children.
Because you asked them to serve as well,
Yes.
in exchange for, it's
Yes.
kind of a give and take a little bit.
And they're such a tremendous help. Like, they help on the weekends, they help serve, they help prepare food, they help in the office, they help send mail outs. They just help in so many ways, especially coming up with the Christmas parties.
Oh, yeah.
They're over in the gym, they're working and preparing.
And Courtney's telling me teaching cooking classes to kids.
Yes.
They'll do that.
Right, crafts, things like
Yeah.
that. But they also share with the children, in ministry as well. Bible studies, like, for example, in our after-school club, they take a small group themselves with the girls, and, well, even some of them are helping with the boys. So, and they help in that.
Well, if someone is out there, if a widow is out there and she says, I am really struggling financially, what are the requirements to maybe become a part of this?
They would just call the camp, and I would interview them, and we would talk and explain a little more to them. We have a little booklet that we can send to them, mail to them, and they can take a look at it. But the Bible describes a widow indeed, and she has number one, she has got to want to continue to minister and serve the Lord, and be a righteous lady, and that's it.
That's number one. That's what
Yes,
you're looking
ma'am.
for. Yeah. Okay. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more about Lighthouse Christian Camp. So stay with us, please.